Hey internet, hey YouTube, this is Nate. You can also call me Nathan, please never call me Nathaniel. And I'm here with Lara once again. We're going to review the remainder of the revealed official artwork for Palia. This is all mostly character art, some environmental art. And so if you haven't watched part one, watch part one. This will make more sense. And with that, we're just going to jump right into it. So let me just switch over here. And we ended off last with the person right before this, the hunter, if you remember. Mm-hmm. Talking about the hunter. So now we are talking about Kenyatta, the magistrate's daughter. She's a young adult, also pink elf, and hasn't declared her path, spends her free time at the stables.
So her path, do you think that that's like
what her focus
stuff?
is? That's what I think. Like, are you a hunter? Are you a potion maker?
Mm-hmm.
And loves everything her mom hates. Seems a little extreme.
I was just watching Gilmore Girls, and that reminds me of Lorelai.
Okay.
That's funny.
So, I mean, nothing too here. Spends her free time at the stables. I mean, I don't know. There are horses, maybe a thing.
Well, sounds like it, unless there's something else in the stables.
Yeah, something rideable, I assume. I hope. I like rideable things. Mounts and stuff like that. I think... I mean, Stardew Valley has it, but I feel like you don't ever use the horse.
Chocopes? Is that what it is in...
Chocobos.
Chocobos.
Chocobos in Final Fantasy. They're much more useful because you can just use them whenever. I don't think you ever got a chocobo, did you?
I don't know. I don't remember.
I don't remember
I
either.
didn't play that very long.
All right, moving on. We have a fireplace. With pokers and stuff. Nice, just a little interior. Not really much to say.
Looks cute.
Ashura. He's an older adult, tells great stories, runs the Ormuz Horn Inn, regularly visits the Remembrance Garden. His broom is actually a repurposed sword. Only one in town willing to take a chance on the disreputable cook. Won't be upset if you give him a bad gift. He will simply be disappointed.
That's probably worse, right?
I guess.
At least in real life it is.
So the inn, I don't know if you remember the trailer, but he's the one that like opens up the map and gives you the map at the beginning. Mm-hmm. So he seems like he's a pretty central character to the story. My guess is a lot of the quests in the game will come from Ashura.
Well, it seems like they're giving him a lot of backstory.
Yes, for sure. I would guess this is something about him serving in some kind of army. The cook. We haven't seen the cook yet, but apparently they're not a great cook. And I think the inn. So this is also interesting because, like, in some games, right, like inns are legitimately a place where you go to rest and stuff, like The Witcher and Final Fantasy and stuff like that. I don't know what the inn's purpose is going to be other than maybe just a central hub.
Well, you think too in Breath of the Wild, the inns double as a resting place, but also you pick up quests and you find things there, like resources and stuff. So
yeah, that's kind of what I could imagine is that
Stardew Valley doesn't have that.
You know what he also reminds me of, just from like the initial impression, is Name of the Wind. Remember, he also runs an inn and has this huge backstory where he was like...
Name of the Wind?
Yeah. Do you remember that?
Yeah, and I'm trying to recall details, but I was just reading Dune, so now it's
all blurring
mixed
together.
Up. But I remember thinking I really wanted more books from him, and he just stopped.
Yeah, it seems to be the trend.
Dang.
Anyway, continuing on.
I just remembered it. Yeah. Ugh, I want more of that.
So more kind of like landscape views, ruins, a kind of house atop of, like, there's not really anything else.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yes.
But when I look at things like this, I hope there's a really good chance of like learning the backstory of the places. Like, and I hope it's not just like, oh look, we put these ruins here to make it look pretty. I hope it's like, look, the ruins are here and here's where they're from and like what the people here used to be like and stuff like that.
Yeah, I kind of hoping, you remember we learned about the archaeologist, right? I'm hoping that quest line, if there is a quest line around her, is focused on researching the ruins and trying to understand where they all come from. There's that's one cool thing about Breath of the Wild that was nice, was that you would have the flashbacks to kind of see
And also, like, the locations are the same as in other games. Like, I think they're not geographically always in the same locations, but, like, the names of the places and stuff like that. So I think that's cool, because when you get layers of, like, history throughout the different games, then...
That's quite, makes it more interesting for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's continue down. We have deer.
Deer goats.
Deer goats. What are they called? Surmuks.
Okay.
Cool. Oh, they covered up the villager with this guy. Okay. Tish.
Wait, why?
As a don't spoil it, but here's a preview kind of thing.
Oh, I see.
Tish, age, young adult, considers furniture, crafting, and art. Moved to the village to recover from a health condition. Loves accessorizing with her flower hair clip, a gift from her brother, the cook.
Ah.
Never has a harsh thing to say about anybody, not even Esha.
Oh, we met her. Who is she? Is she the old snobby woman?
I think so. Let me just scroll up really quick. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, exactly. So furniture crafting, obviously that's a huge part of these kinds of games, like crafting, customizing, all that kind of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
accessorizing. To recover from a health condition, obviously that's intentionally vague.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see what that means. I'm trying to think who would be a good parallel in other games we've played. It's not really Leah from...
I don't, well...
Because Leah's more...
Robin is the...
artsy. Yeah,
archetype.
Robin's more...
But I don't
the
know,
archetype.
like, that's the problem, is, like, we still don't know so much about this game, it's hard to draw parallels.
Yeah, that's true. So, nothing new here. I mean, I don't know if cooking is going to be a thing. I think probably... Cooking's usually a thing in these kinds of games.
Yep.
Yeah, it's almost always a thing.
Except in Animal Crossing, you don't cook.
That's true.
You just pick fruit.
Lame.
It's not lame. Nothing about Animal Crossing is lame.
You have a kind of...
Looks like a forge.
Yeah, exactly. With the kettle, heat, and then you have the mold here.
Mm-hmm. Looks pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Eloisa, age, adult, studies the ruins for signs of unusual activity, has an incredibly active imagination, has no shortage on theories on pretty much everything, rarely seen in the same location as her twin sister, the librarian. Okay, so there's going to be a library. Did we talk?
I don't think we met the librarian.
I don't think we met the librarian yet. And so again, kind of similar to the archaeologist girl that we saw before. This one seems to be more like paranormal,
Mm-hmm.
you know, or like energy or whatever, right? So more like on the imaginative side than on strict, you know, research and stuff. Could be very interesting to see.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, one of the things that the game could do is like have her theories start to like be believable, even though they're like wild and outrageous. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Have to see, but certainly I think a lot of quest lines I would expect around this kind of story as well. Okay, this is the in-player character in the village. We saw this thing before. This kind of like central piece. You see the windmill. Looks like smokestack.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Najuma, age teenager, an only child, a skilled tinkerer that can take apart and put together any gadget. May appear shy at first, but quite chatty about her interests, always finding creative ways to test explosives.
Yeah, looks like it. Look at her leg.
That's true. Very... It's not... Is it steampunk? Yeah, steampunk. Big goggles, steel leg. On her way to being Darth Vader. Interesting. So I'm also wondering, like, gadgets. So I can see two different things. Remember that in a lot of these games, there's like a person that helps you upgrade your equipment.
Mm-hmm.
I could maybe see this person in that kind of role, like upgrading your stuff.
Yeah.
Or just giving you gadgets. The question is, are these things you can craft yourselves? Are you also able to craft explosives? Or is she like your main person for all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And what to use explosives for? Is that for mining? Is that for hunting? Is
Probably
it for
multiple options, I would
yeah,
expect.
something both? Very interesting. This is, I think, the underside of that.
Yeah, looks like it.
With some, I don't know, they're bugs
So
or
the graphics
dots.
don't look as real as like
Skyrim or
Wild.
Breath of the Wild. That's right.
yeah.
And I don't know how much of this is just going to be their art style. It's going to be that kind of level. But you think like Animal Crossing is also not like, breaking down any
Yeah,
records
but
with
I don't know
graphics.
the words to describe, I guess, but like I just feel like Animal Crossing is still more detailed than
It's probably, I would say, just farther along in polish.
maybe that's it.
So once this gets more polished, then we can get an idea about how it's going to look. Badru, as an adult, father of Auni.
We didn't meet that.
We didn't meet Auni?
We did.
Oh, okay. Bad luck seems to find him far too often. Tells great dad jokes, or awful depending on how you look at it. Runs the produce side of the local family farm. So farming is going to be a big thing. This is already clear. That was already clear in the trailer. They showed houses with big farms out front. So, that's always a kind of staple of a lot of these simulation games. I expect it to be simple farming. The question will be, with a game like this, we talked about this before, Animal Crossing is real-time seasonal, meaning that,
Yeah.
you're playing in the season that you
And
are
we
in
don't
real
know
life.
if this game's going to be real time or not.
Which I think will affect the farming. Is
Yeah.
it going to be in-game days where you can reap and stuff like that very quickly, or is it more like real time where I'll plant something today and then in a couple real time days I'll be able to harvest? This is what I also very curious to see how this works. But this is probably going to be one of the core activities: resource gathering, hunting, farming, fishing. Speaking of, here is a very happy fish. This is like your mood when you wake up.
Yeah.
You're going, but you're not happy about it.
Especially when I'm still asleep and you walk in and you're like, hey, do you want to watch this show?
Valid question, I feel like. All right, next up.
I think I'm hearing something. I need to go check the kids.
Okay, I'll
Sorry.
continue.
You keep going. I'll be right back.
All right. Neo is a young adult. Auni's older brother, helps run the family farm, is hopelessly romantic, and always the best in people. I think this is something Laura and I talked about, how is romance and friendship going to work in Palia? Definitely a big question. Really not sure what we can expect here yet. They did say there will be some friendshipping options, and there was the talk about gifting in many different profiles. So I think that's going to be in there. It's just a question of how they do it. I don't know too much, and it's not really too much revealed here as well. Looks like he's got either it's a sombrero or a cowboy hat. Looks more sombrero than cowboy hat from this particular angle. We'll have to see. But yeah, that's a big part of these games, and I'm curious how much freedom you have, because you're going to be living on a server where everybody else can interact with all the same NPCs. How does that work in romancing options? I think it's very interesting, and I'm curious to see how they decide to go about it with Palia. Next up is a thing about Kenyatta, but just mostly concept art, avid reader, relaxing, tons of different expressions. A lot of them very mischievous looking expressions. And she definitely looks like more of a mischievous person. We can go check out her. Oh, it actually doesn't have her profile yet. Oh wait, we saw Kenyatta. We saw Kenyatta. She was the first one. Oh, but she looks very different. Compare her in this picture, where she's got more chill, to this picture, where she looks a lot more mischievous. I don't know. Interesting. Okay, next up we have Delaila, Also an adult. Married to Badru, mother of Auni and Neo. Okay. Fiercely devoted to her family, stubborn but generous to a fault. Sees every day as a new opportunity no matter how hard the last one was. So this is basically that large family that runs the farm. Just, I guess, getting more details about the family. Nothing too crazy here, it seems. And Kenji. Kenji is an older adult, married to Esha, father of Kenyatta, a bumbling politician, second child of a duke. Talks a lot without saying much. A people pleaser, his opinion changes easily. So this is the mayor. Welcome back.
Hey.
This is the mayor. So this is the...
He looks like a mayor.
He does. Very, again, I think about, like, what's the mayor's name in Stardew Valley?
Oh, I can see his face.
Yes. He loses his underpants in Marnie's house.
Mm-hmm.
What is his name?
It's too late.
He's not someone you typically interact with a lot in the game, though. You don't need to look it up. It's
I
fine.
have to look it up now.
Okay. You look it up. I'll
Keep
keep
talking.
going.
Keep talking.
Anyway, so it'll be interesting to see how that... I'm sure there will be quest lines to do with the politics of the village, and especially between him and his husband and his daughter. Could see a lot of explosive interactions. Mayor Lewis, that's right. But Mayor Lewis seems a lot friendlier than this guy does. This guy seems like he'll play you.
Well, yeah. Also, his wife doesn't like him.
No, they fight. And their daughter is Kenyatta, who was the first one we looked at. Doesn't seem very happy to be their child. Next up, we have Golem emotes.
Haha.
Nice.
That's cool.
There is pleased. I can't. This is so hard to read.
Please chuckle? Does that say chuckle?
Yes, chuckle,
Happy, bashful, frustrated, sad, somber, confusion.
Side eye 1, side eye 2, tired, squint, observant. I mean, that was the thing with Animal Crossing, was that you would pick up expressions over time.
Mm-hmm.
You would learn them. And so then you could just kind of like throw them into your wheelhouse.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is the her and the librarian.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. This is going to be the one we're going to learn about next.
Cool. No.
No,
Just kidding.
just kidding. It's also, she's a little bit slimmer, I guess.
I think it's
Oh.
just pose.
So there's nothing. What is her twin's name? We alluded to her twin sister. Oh,
It
okay.
doesn't actually say her name yet.
And this is the long... They're going to take a break from villager votes for a few weeks. This is the last one. Reth. Young adult. Moved to the village with his twin sister Tish.
Mm-hmm.
Works the day shift at the inn. Prone to acting before thinking. Believes it's all lettuce vegetable soup to get the talk of the town. So this is the cook.
Mm-hmm.
I could see him being a bad cook.
Mm-hmm. Because he's focused on other things.
Yes.
He probably doesn't take advice very well.
And all lettuce vegetable soup is
Salad?
salad with water on it.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't sound particularly appealing.
Probably low calorie.
That's true.
Probably keto friendly.
I'm sure that's what he was going for.
Yeah. He's just trying to appeal to like all of the health trends of right now.
All right, so with that, we've covered all of the art so far. Yeah, I mean, I'm still excited. I think we are just anticipating more stuff, like, at this point. Just want to get more information. There are more dev questions that I'll go over in a future episode. But for now, kind of a nice overview of all the art they've revealed so far.
Mm-hmm.
Let me know what you guys think. Are you excited? Are you hoping to get into the beta? I certainly am. I was hoping to get into pre-alpha, but I'm hoping at least to get into alpha beta, maybe? Who knows?
Alpha, beta, gamma.
But with that, this has been Nate. You can also comment Nathan, please never comment Nathaniel. Here with Lara, doing another PaliaWatch. If you liked, please give it a like, subscribe, check out the other episodes if you haven't seen them yet, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.